Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another summer Q&A live show. I'm Max Moody with the Battle's End, and we got a great lineup of players for y'all tonight. First up, we've got Omar Graham Jr. We're also going to have Jeremiah Byers, Kevin Knowles, and Kentron Poitier. Again, if y'all are joining us for the first time, this is our weekly live show where we let y'all ask questions to the players and throw them in the chat. Super chats get priority. It's brought to you by the Battle's End. We are Florida State's NIL collective. Directly support FSU athletes by going to thebattlesend.com and becoming a member today. Omar, first guest, man. A lot of pressure. How you doing?
I'm feeling good. What about you?
I'm doing all right, man. Sorry for the virtual thing. I'm up in Atlanta. I've got my daughter for the summer, so I got to be up here. Usually, I'd be down there on set with you, but it's good to
You
see you, man.
good?
How are you feeling? We're in summer workouts now. Fall camp is what? Y'all get 4th of July break, and then what? Two and a half more weeks, and it's right in fall camp.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So, you're going into your third year here. You're in a group that saw the departure of Tatum and D'Lo last year, two guys who are very much senior leaders. And, now we've gotten through spring, because I think I asked you this question during the spring. What is your first summer as one of the more senior kind of older guys in the room feel like?
Um, it's really just me taking more charge and just doing the little things and just just like learning from the past and just doing things differently, learning from my mistakes and just like really just growing up, being there for the younger guys, being there for the older guys, just trying to just be the best person I could be.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Now, I want to just get a little detailed on the field. What's the main thing that you're working on this summer? Is it just your strength and conditioning? Is there something technique wise you're trying to improve before fall camp, or what are you focused on?
To be honest, I really just want to really work on everything, but the more like specific, I'll say more confidence, like just playing with more confidence, cause like this is my third year into the program, third year into the defense. Like I know everything, like know defense to the back of my head. So it's just not like playing with that confidence and playing with great technique, trusting my training. Um, and just really just going out there and just let it loose. That's the main things that I just want to focus on. Heading into the last weeks of summer workouts and going into camp. I also just want to change my body around. Like I'm eating better, hydrating more, stretching, just doing everything it takes to just prepare my body, my mind heading into the season.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And again, folks, any questions y'all have for Omar, please throw them in the chat. We'll get them up there. But when you talk about getting your body right, can you give us a little preview of like what are the summer workouts like? I mean, we know they're intense because it's Coach Storms,
hmm
but just what run us through kind of the overview of one and what y'all are doing out there right now.
Okay, so like Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays are the lifts, and Monday we'll do the basic lift like power cleans, hand cleans, and then Fridays are the squat days. Wednesdays are the bench days, and Tuesdays and Thursdays are more of the on field work and player led stuff, and then like conditioning, and then we do some speed work on Mondays, and then Wednesdays just lift. Friday is squat days, and then we go out to the field and push the sled. That's the finish. We finish. That's the what they call it. Work like we just work for our weekend on
Yeah.
Friday. So yeah, that's really it.
So I got a question here from Michael West Dominguez, FSU alumni. How does it feel coming into camp this year where the expectations are high for this team based on the standard of football that we return to? So I think what he's asking there, right, is your first year going in, because your first
hmm
year was when we had our first 10-win season, in
Oh yes, sir.
a decade or so, right? So the expectations were to get back to somewhere. Now we've had a 13-0 season. The expectations are not just to stay there, but to get to that next level. How different is that maybe from the first summer when you got here?
Uh, it's not really different. It's like we know what it looks like from this past two seasons, so we're just like working on mistakes from from those past two seasons and just just trying to get better and improve on it. But we know there's expectations are high. We're built for it. Our coaches install that into our heads each and every day, and they're just preparing us for it, and we're preparing ourselves for it too, and just holding each other accountable.
So I'm going to add a second part to this, but first, Anthony asked, who helped you get acclimated to campus since getting here? Like anybody in particular stand out?
I would say my first 2 years here, all the people down south, like from South Florida, they really helped me. But the two Well, really, Tatum and D'Lo, they really helped me. Along as Lindy too, and Coach Shannon, like they just really like from having a bad day or I made a bad play or something like that. They just instill in my head to just like next play or like they was just always there to like build my confidence and just tell me like I'm gonna be good no matter what.
Yeah,
So
man.
those,
So
yeah.
kind of part two of that is y'all have had a lot of new guys that you've added to the linebacker room. You added Juice last summer. You added Sean Murphy from the transfer portal this past spring. I feel like one or two others that maybe slip in my mind. Or I know like obviously Blake Nicholson coming in last year as a younger guy.
Mhm.
How do you help the younger guys or a new guy like Sean who's transferring in get acclimated to campus? Is there something the room does as a whole, like when guys first get here, or is it just kind of having those individual conversations with them?
At first it's a little slow, but we kind of like just like built them in and include them into things. Like we try to like joke with them just to get them comfortable and things like that. But like just whatever they need, we try to help. Like I know, like me personally, like I reach out to all of them like individually, just let them know I'm here if they want to watch film or want to hang out. I know the linebacker group, like we're really really close this year. Like we hang out literally like every weekend. Like we'll like each every weekend we go to somebody's house. Like past 2 weekends we probably went to Sean house, and then we went to Juice house like I think the other week. But like we're just really close and we just keep building that bond. Like yesterday we went out to eat all the linebackers and like
Which y'all's
I
favorite
think this
spot?
is
Do y'all have a
our
specific
favorite
spot where
spot.
linebackers go? Yeah, yeah.
Uh, our favorite spot. We all like our own. Like yesterday, it was a debate between Texas Roadhouse, Longhorns, and Nagoya. We went to Nagoya, but I think a lot of them like Texas Roadhouse because of the bread. So yeah,
Yeah, those are strong spots though. Nagoya's a good spot.
yeah.
Texas Roadhouse, I could see that. So, last couple questions here, man. What are some individual goals you have for this upcoming season? Like any that, or are you goal? I mean, do you write your goals down on paper? Or are you more of a just everyday improvement kind of guy, or how does that process look?
Um, I'm a little bit of both. I got like a little whiteboard in my room, and I just write my. Well, right now I got my goals down from the summer. I write my goals down for the season. I just really want to focus on the summer, but I would say my goals entering the season just like to mainly just trust myself, be more confident. Uh, he kind of messed you up. Second is just let loose, and then third just to put my name out there, like put myself on the map, and just go out there and just have fun. That's one of the main things I want to have fun, cause like when you out there and it's like bad plays and just things like that, and fans talking down or haters and things like that, you kind of gets to your head. But all in all, I just want to have fun and tune those things out.
Yeah, man. No, and look, I think one of the things I respect most about y'all and literally every player on the team working with y'all is the way y'all are able to do that. And how do you find it, or do you find it's just as important almost though to tune out when things are going well too, and not let yourself get too caught up in the hype when y'all are having like success and you're 7-0 or you're 8-0, and is that almost just as challenging to tune out as it is to tune out when you have a bad play and you see that pop up on Twitter?
Yeah, definitely. Like I feel like both of those are important. Like you just gotta find a balance in between. Like I feel like you should also praise yourself to like uh, just like I feel like you should also praise yourself, but also just don't get too hard on yourself. Also,
Absolutely, man. And last one, because I love this one, then we'll let you get out of here. Is there talk amongst the defense about picking up right where last year's defense left off in terms of dominating opponents right off the bat? I mean, is that kind of the mentality going in that y'all are going to be just like last year, dominant, in guys' faces, all of that?
yeah, definitely. We really just want to be better than last year. Like we got a great group of guys from the D line, the linebacker group, the corner group. We're all talented and experienced, and we might be a little young, but our young guys like they can really get after it. And I just feel like it's gonna be a great defense this year. It's gonna be really fun to watch. Like just seeing through the spring practices and summer workouts, just like how close we are and just how we're grinding and holding each other accountable. We are gonna be really great this year.
Absolutely, man. Hey, look, I could not be more fired up for this year. I mean, we are only we're now 2 days less than 2 months till Ireland, and I can't wait to watch y'all take the field. And Omar, I appreciate you also you stopping by and talking with us tonight. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate y'all for having me. Have a good night.
All right, guys, Mike mute. Folks, that was Omar Graham Jr., third-year linebacker out of Fort Lauderdale, joining us for the Q&A show. Thank you for throwing your questions in the chat. Up next, excuse me, we're going to bring in our next guest and have you throw questions in the chat for him as well. Coming in next, we've got defensive back Kevin Knowles, fourth year out of Hollywood, Florida. Again, this is brought to you by The Battle's End, FSU's NIL collective. If you want to directly support FSU student athletes, make sure you go to thebattlesend.com and become a member today. What's up, KP?
Wow, what it is?
What's up, man? Folks, again, I've got two guests now. It looks like my daughter Charlotte actually decided to sneak in the room, and I've got Kevin Knowles here. Man, you're going into your fourth year with the team, so you've really seen a huge spectrum of growth, right? And you've seen this team go from a year where it felt like y'all were almost there, almost putting it together, to last year where everything came together. 13-0 season. The defense was firing on all cylinders. Y'all survived everything that got thrown your way. Just what has the spring and summer been like coming off of a year like that versus, maybe when you first got here, y'all were still trying to see if you could get to that level?
The thing was just knowing that coming into the season that everybody gonna be at us, and the first thing that we all preached coming into spring was that we're gonna get back to where we were, just because of the least players, the people that left, the people that's here, like coming in, we coming back on the same time we was on, and that was coming to work. Since from the first day I got here to now, like it been work, so that's all it is.
Now I've got to ask, in the defensive back room, y'all lost some serious talent there, right? And some guys that Jarin, who was a third-round pick, Renardo, who went on to be a second-round pick, but y'all are reloading. I mean, y'all got some great dudes in there. So, what are some things maybe those guys left behind that y'all try to emulate, try to live up to, and what are some things that maybe you think this defensive back room, no hate to them, but might do a little better this year that fans aren't quite aware of yet?
The thing that we'll do this year that we really I ain't gonna say we struggled with, but it took time for us to come together, was playing together, understanding each other, knowing who on the side of us, and knowing that the goal we trying to reach is for everybody. It's just that togetherness, just that glue. Sertan came in last year and was able to mold some of the older DBs, but now that he got his own room, he got his dudes that he recruited, things like that, like, we all know what the deal is. Just myself coming back, Azarie, Shaheem Brown, like, we all know what we want to get to. And just us being that in a room, just being them top dogs in the room, is showing them young boys that we all finna do this together, we gonna play together. So I feel like that's that one thing that we're gonna do better this year that we didn't do last year, that's gonna get us to the top.
You talk about playing together, and y'all have, again, such a talented room of guys who just got here, right? From guys like Charles Lester, or guys who are coming off their freshman year like Jabril, and guys that we expect to make an impact, or even transfers who are coming in. How do y'all make sure you have that cohesion? Is it just leading by example as the older guys? Is it you becoming, have you felt yourself becoming maybe more of a vocal leader now that you're one of the fourth year guys? How's that looked this offseason?
Definitely. As an older dude, like, everybody expect that older dude to be the vocal one. Everybody expect that managers, he got to lead by example. You the old head. You got to be that dude no. And our room is, we all DBs in this room. We all Florida State. We all got recruited by the same dude. So at the end of the day, if you see me messing up, let me know that I'm messing up. If I tell you messing up, like, you feel me, take it to the chin and go do what you got to do. And the cohesion part is, it's more to it than just football. Outside of football, like, what y'all doing together? You going to eat with your brother, like, Saturdays, like, the DB room, we hitting the sand pit together, like, we hit the chat, things like that, and that's what brought us together, and it brought us together fast, because it was some things that we have feel, we not as close as we was last year, and it took a couple bonding moments just to show that, bro, we can be closer than we ever were in the past year. So.
And just for folks, like myself, who maybe haven't played the position in college, can you talk about just how important being on the same page and being able to communicate is in this defense when the bullets are flying, and you got a guy like Shaheem who needs to be able to get the calls down, and just how critical that communication is, not just for being able to play fast, but for on-field success as a whole.
Definitely. It go hand in hand, just understanding who you with and having that communication aspect. It's all about communication. Because if my brother behind me don't know what he doing and me and him in two different situations, it's going to end bad. Like, y'all never know what's going on in the stands, but when that ball in the air and that receiver come down with the ball into the touchdown, everybody is his fingers pointing.
Right.
Like, if I'm in cover 2 and I'm supposed to be underneath and Shaheem Brown supposed to be over top, hey Sha, I need you over top. Like, and just understanding, like, you feel me, we in this together is what forces us to gel and forces us to just come down and make plays how we've done these past years.
Yeah, man. And again, I think there's a lot to be said about just trusting that the guy that's supposed to be in, like, if you're going under, the guy that's supposed to be over is going to be there, right? Because that's, I assume, going to prevent you from trying to do too much and trying to do too much on a play and giving something up. So I got to imagine that trust is critical. But, you know, we have a question here. And folks, again, throw questions at the cat. Sorry, I'm a little sick. It's my Jordan flu game here. Probably sounds like it a bit, but I'm pushing through. So if I have some missteps there. Anthony Hoglund asks, after the Clemson game, there was a moment where you and Norvell embraced. Can you talk us through what that meant after such a big game, beating Clemson for the first time in so many years?
I was with Norvell from day one. He came in 2020, but I came in 2021, and Norvell was one of the coaches that came to my high school and came and spoke to me about Florida State football. So just from being with him from freshman year, losing to Clemson freshman year, sophomore year, and like it was just a moment that we both know we got through. And it was just an opportunity. And after the game ended, I saw him, he saw me. It wasn't nothing to it. It's just the fact that was something that I needed, something that I dreamed about. Just beating Clemson. Not only beating Clemson, but beating Clemson at their home. It's like, it was different. And just seeing Norvell on the sideline, seeing how happy he was, how proud he was of us, like, I know I just needed to embrace him in that moment, and that's all it was.
Absolutely, man. And again, just such a large moment for the fan base, as a whole. I mean, seeing y'all do it in overtime in Death Valley. I mean, everything feeling like it might be going a certain way, and then we have and then we see the D-Lo play and everything that led into it. So Michael asks, what do you feel is a secondary that you all need to improve on? And do you think this group can be even better? I feel last year D-line and linebackers were highlighted just a bit more. Oh, you got a muted mic there. Hold on. Sorry, we have a quick moment, folks. Something may have gone down in the studio on us. Give us 1 second. We've been having a couple small issues with that camera. We were working to get it fixed, but for right now, again, we are taking questions. We'll have the camera back up in just a moment. And I'm sitting here with KP. There we go. All right, KP, can you hear me? Am I coming through? Maybe. Doesn't look like it. Hold on 1 second. Kev, what's going on, dude? Talk to me. Folks, again, our apologies. I got Kev in my ear here. It sounds like we're having some slight technical difficulties. I think maybe our trusty camera may have maybe time to get a new one. We had one that's worked very well for all of our live shows up until this point, but it looks like it just died out on us for one final time. So give us 2 seconds. We'll have that up with you, and we will be back to grab all the questions that we can. There we go. Look at that. KP, can you hear me?
We back.
All right, we're back. See, folks, you just got to keep responding and adapting. We've got a great production crew back there with Kevin and Alyssa that get this thing figured out. So
That's it. Adversity. She
Yeah,
come do when it hit.
it doesn't matter if it's, on the field against Clemson in Death Valley, or if it's sitting in the studio, and a camera goes down, and you just gotta keep flying through it. Thank you. Appreciate the shout out for the graphic there. That was a Kevin mention. But Matt Perry wants to ask, since the last one I'll grab from you, how's it been to see the depth of the secondary growth throughout your time at FSU? And I mean, I'll just throw this out there, man, as not just someone that does this job, but a fan watching y'all at practice. It's like, it's less like watching, a second string and a third string going, and more like watching hockey where there's like line changes. I mean, it seems like every dude that comes in, you have a new talented wave of guys coming to cover these receivers. What's it been like to just see how deep y'all's room's gotten?
Bro, it's been amazing, man. It's been amazing because every year is another extraordinary guy that comes through. You would think that they bring that one guy in, and another couple years that other guy come, but crazy thing is, next spring the same dude come in. He be so young. And to be a dude I know that's gonna get molded to be the best athlete he can be. And one thing I feel like that just helped us throughout these years is that the competition. Every day we're gonna compete. No matter who you are, no matter what position you play, you're gonna compete. You have to compete because you will never last at Florida State if you can't. You'll never last at Florida State if you're not willing to. So it's just the competition and the guys that flow through this room, the guys that flow through this building. Like it was extraordinary, and it was just amazing just to be a part of.
Absolutely, man. And again, it's awesome to watch y'all compete. And I think people are going to be, people are going to be really surprised. I'll throw this one up here. Last one, guys. Good says, proud of you, Kevin. We cousins. I'm Betty's son, Brandon. Tell my Aunt Mary hello. So I thought I'd get that shout out on there for you, and we'll let you get out of here,
buddy.
We appreciate you bearing with us through slight technical difficulties. We're gonna get Jeremiah up here next. So thanks a lot for being here with us.
I appreciate y'all, man.
All right, see you, man. Folks, again, thank you for rocking with us through that technical difficulty. We're going to bring Jeremiah Byers up next, offensive tackle, the FSU Offensive Newcomer of the Year. Again, transferred in from UTEP last year. So, again, we are Florida State's NIL collective, The Battles. And, folks, NIL is a critical pillar to success in today's college football. You got to have the players and coaches. We've got those. We've got Coach Norvell. We've got all the talented players that you're seeing on this show week after week. You got to have the facilities that can make you competitive. We're building those. I mean, if you go out and look at the practice field, you see that football-only facility coming up. You see all the renovations that are happening to the stadium. And finally, you got to have a strong NIL program, which is where we come in. So, again, we really appreciate all the support that makes this possible, and we rely on y'all's continued support to make sure we have a team that is ready to respond and undeniable in 2024. JB, what's up, man?
Oh, what up?
Good to see you, dude. How we doing?
Doing good. Can't complain.
Good. Looking good in the white quarter zip. I like it.
Yeah, a little something. Nothing too crazy. Yeah. Shout out TBE.
I got the old school white polo on. I don't even know. I know we got a few of these left, but
That's vintage right there. That's vintage. OG.
Hey, man, what's the point if you can't get some of the merch, You gotta have the newest stuff. Folks, by the way, when they take the field in Ireland, it is going to be a little chilly. So, if y'all are looking for something, we're going to have those quarter zips newly ordered because most people don't know that it's going to be cold.
What's how cold is going to be up there?
You want to know?
Yeah.
I'll look it up. So August 24th last year at kickoff, it would have been 62 degrees, and it'll get down to like 55-ish. 50.
Oh, okay, that ain't that bad.
So not like freezing, but for August, I mean, y'all are going to be coming from 100 degrees.
That's true.
So that's
I'm more scared about Notre Dame. I know that's going to be very cold in November, boy.
Yep. Dude, I was actually
make it through it though.
I guess not the last time we played Notre Dame, but the one before. It was like, I think the coldest game FSU had ever kicked off in. It was November, South Bend. And it's bad when you go somewhere and even the people from there are like, hey, this is not right. Like they're like, this is too cold. So it won't be that bad this year, but it can get a little chilly.
Yeah, and have a lot of thermals on, a lot of thermals.
I was gonna say, when it's cold, are you a sleeves guy, or are you one of those O-linemen that goes out there with nothing on, just like short sleeves to let them know?
I don't know. Like, I'll put a sleeve on, but I found a trick where you got to put Vaseline on your body that covers up the pores and everything. So I plan on putting a lot of Vaseline on when we go to Big Bend.
I just learned about that this year, actually, but I guess that makes sense. I just thought y'all were always just the toughest dudes on the planet. Just didn't have to wear sleeves.
Nah, I don't like cold weather, so I ain't going to even sit here in front on you like that.
So, dude, I just want to dive into to talking about the group that you have around you, and then we're going to take some questions from the chat. Y'all have probably one of the more experienced offensive lines in college football. I mean, just coming back on this team, you've got Mo, you got Darius, you got Rob, guys who have played a ton of football at Florida State. You got guys like yourself. It's your second year here, but you're, a fifth-year senior after playing at UTEP. We got guys like Richie and Tferg who are bringing experience from other schools in. What is it like to have such an experienced room, heading through the spring, the summer, and into fall?
I would say that having a more experienced room, it makes us like understand that we got to be more of like the leaders on the offense, if that makes sense. Like knowing that we have the oldest room in all the positions when it comes to on the ball on the offensive side. Just understanding that and taking on more responsibility when it comes to onus of the offense, like understanding we operating smart. Because at the end of the day, we got a new quarterback as well.
Yep.
So it's like you got Rob, Darius, and Mo who been here 5+ years, and then you got myself who just came here last year and played here. Like just understanding that like we got to step up more when it becomes to being leaders on the team.
Now, Coach Norvella said one of the biggest differences we're going to see this year is this is the fastest team he's ever coached, and that we're going to see a lot more speed. From your perspective as an offensive lineman, although I'm sure you hear fast, so you're like, oh man, gotta get that cardio up. But what do you think this team's going to look like differently for fans than maybe last year's team looked like?
On the offensive side, I would say, like Coach Norvell said, a lot of more speed, like not as big of a size, but shoot, we making up the size when it comes to speed-wise. Like I think like Jalen Lucas, he just came in from Indiana.
Yep.
5'5", but that's the fastest dude I've ever seen on the football field.
I was actually there for that run he broke during that scrimmage.
He was moving.
Yeah, and
there was one when we were out on the screen. I was in front of him, and I'm like, all right, we gone, and I'm about to go hit the defender, but he just ran past both of us. I was like, oh man, I was like, can't wait to see this in dope.
I guess you probably haven't gotten to see it, because typically he's behind you. But I mean, the interesting thing about him is he can legitimately get lost behind a guy like you.
Yeah. He's very small.
You couldn't even tell who had the ball, but he's so fluid when he makes that first cut.
Yeah, he's very elusive for sure. And then also, Malik Benson, you got him. You got Jaylen Brown. Like, it's just a lot more speed when it comes to the receiver position that we got this year rather than last year. So, but don't get it twisted though. We still had some things going on last year. I'm not saying that we didn't, but this year I just feel like it's going to be a lot more speed. So it's going to be interesting how we operate with that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And just talk real quickly. Obviously we just talked about the experience, but some of the younger guys coming along. I mean, Andre Otto, Lucas Simmons. How have you seen their growth, and what should fans expect to see from some of the younger dudes in this room this year?
For Andre and Lucas, I would say like just seeing them mature more is the biggest thing that I take from it. Like taking onus of themselves. Like Coach Atkins, he always preached to us like it ain't my career, it's y'all's career. So at the end of the day, whatever you got to fix it for yourself. If you want to strive to be more in this game and things like that. So just seeing like the younger dudes understanding that like they clock ticking just like our clock is already ticking. Like a lot of us is on our last year, so it's like. Do you want him to go into the portal, or do you want to be the guy to be like, nah, we got it here, we good, we gonna step up and do what we got to do?
Yeah, and I want to get this from Briley. What specific aspect of your game is the one that you most want to refine going into fall camp?
I would say the most thing that I want to improve on it going into fall camp is just my pass pro on understanding like the angles of pass protection, and also not getting pushed back, like understanding like when I get on my block, just stay there. Like don't let no movement happen or anything like that. That's just my biggest thing, is just working on my pass pro and just getting better every day. Because at the end of the day, everybody, like, you got to work on the good stuff that you're good at, just like how you got to work on the stuff that you're bad at. So,
yeah, and I love to hear you say that. I mean, again, kind of a tangent, but one of my big life philosophies is like it's important to analyze wins just as much as you analyze losses, right? Because you got to figure out where you're winning so you can replicate it. But this kind of rolls into this next question. But we saw some really good battles when you talk about working on holding your ground and kind of your anchor. I mean, you and Marvin Jones had some battles during the game. You had a couple, dude, where you put your feet in the ground, you were able to anchor. Yeah. Sit and get DJ time. But
with Marv and Pat, I've been on here multiple times and told y'all how I felt about Patrick Payton. That's our little duo right there. We be rivaling in practice and everything. It's just like I just look at it like iron sharpens iron. Like same thing as last year with Versa and Pat. Like Marvin Jones good. I'm not gonna sit here and say that he's not. He's definitely good. It's just like I just love competing in practice with them because at the end of the day, I know they gonna give their best and I'm gonna try to get mine every time. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was Mark's question, right? Just who's the player on the D line you love going against? Or
Oh yeah, them two. 7-11.
7-11.
Yeah.
You guys put that together. See, that's more of a. We don't really have 7-Elevens in Tally. This when I was growing up, I didn't really see them until.
We got a lot of them in Texas. I ain't gonna say a lot to y'all. So that's why I was like, when I seen them put that out, I was like, y'all funny for that. That makes sense.
That was funny, man. Anthony Holland. Sorry if I got that wrong. Random question: can you dunk?
Can I dunk?
Yeah.
Of course I can dunk. The day I can't dunk is the day I'll stop playing basketball. So I can dunk. At 325, I can still dunk.
Geez, see, that's crazy because at 185, I cannot dunk. So, so I like this because we talked about your work on that pass pro, but obviously F8 Tal Jedi. I'm sorry, that's a lot of numbers, but appreciate the question. As a unit, as a whole, what do you think y'all are trying to focus most on improvement? Pass pro, or is it getting all the new run protections or the run blocking with all the different new running backs that y'all have in the room and everything?
I would say the run blocking. Like last year, we was decent in the run game, but we knew that we could have did a lot more when it came to the run game to open up the pass game more. So I would say run game is the most thing that's been a big emphasis during the spring and things like that because we got a lot of new backs and then also new quarterback and everything. So understand the run concepts and then like because once you run the ball, you can go off to play action. That's one of the big things too. So if you can get the run started, then it just opens up everything else that you want to do on the offense.
So then Matt Perry kind of follows up on that, right, and says, we pull our tackles more than anyone in the country. I'm just going to trust him on that, haven't run the numbers. How do you like pulling on counter versus more typical zone blocking?
Oh, I love getting out of space. That's my favorite thing to do. Screens, pulls. When it comes to me just wanting to be able to roll and go get a linebacker or go try and go get a safety or something, I love doing that. That's my favorite thing to do personally.
Yeah.
Because you get a head start on who you want to go hit. Like, you're not just sitting there going 1-2 and then getting into somebody. It's just you get the pull and be like, all right, if he comes in this hole, I'm going to try to kill him. Like,
yeah. You have any that are like particularly memorable where you were coming around the pull and you could tell that the guy just wasn't ready for it? You just knew.
I would say there was one. I wouldn't say it wasn't a pull. It was a screen. So I got out on the screen, and it was Wake Forest. The inside linebacker broke to go get the tray, and I just laid out and tried to just hit him. Then it spurted out for a little run. So I was like, okay, appreciate that. Put that on my little highlight tape or whatever.
No, it's hard to get out into space, man. I mean, again, you're a big dude. And the fact that you're able to move out there and catch linebackers, whether it's reaching on the outside zone or whether it's coming around on screens and counters, is pretty impressive.
I like to call myself a big athlete.
I mean, again, you can dunk, and dunking at 325 is no joke. So I'll definitely give you that. Last one for you, man. Grillmaster asks, is offensive tackle the toughest position on the field in your eyes?
I would say, yeah, it would be offensive tackle and cornerbacks. Corners, people probably going to hate me, like my old line buddies probably going to hate me for this, but I would say corners first and then us. Reason being is just because those are the two positions where you're on the island. Like, at corner, I give corners that because they got to guard the whole field. Us, we got probably like 5-7 yards to just protect. But the thing is just like that DN can do whatever he wants to do, but you got to go backwards and stop him.
Right. Yeah, that's always kind of physically the scary part about what y'all do is you're going against these world class athletes and you're moving backwards while you're trying to do it. And then add in, of course, all the other stuff you're trying to process with slides and all the run game assignments and all that. But, dude, we really appreciate you stopping by today, JP. We won't hold you any longer. I'm sure we'll talk plenty of times before the season starts.
For sure. Go Knowles. Appreciate y'all.
Man, all right. Thanks a lot. We'll catch you later. All right, folks, that was Jeremiah Byers. We got one more guest for you tonight. We've got wide receiver Kentron Poitier coming in right now. Again, we're the Battle's End. We're the NIL collective for Florida State football. If you want to directly support Florida State athletes, fuel the climb, and help give Mike Norvell the resources that he needs to build a winning football team year in and year out. Make sure that you go to thebattlesinn.com and become a member today, or support any way you can. Like this video. Super chats are always appreciated. Buy things from our corporate partners. We've got a nice little trio of corporate partnerships, and we're looking to add more. We've got a Social House Vodka. We are launching the week after 4th of July, a partnership with Grassroots Coffee. There'll be a Battles Inn blend out there. And then we also have a tequila. So go to our website, thebattlesinn.com. You can find links to all of those as well. Kentron, what's up, man? Oh, wait. Sorry. I got to get you unmuted. There we go. All right. We got you now. How we doing, man? Can you hear me all right?
I'm good. You? Yes, sir.
Good. Sorry I'm virtual. I know usually we get to chop it up in the studio, but I'm up in what I like to call the mobile command center for the next couple of weeks. But don't worry. I know you were worried, but I'll be back soon. I promise. Oh man. So I kind of want to just dive into it. You know, you're a guy who has really been a name since you got to Florida State. You know, you've always been seen as one of the more talented receivers in the receiver room. And now, you know, you're the oldest. I mean, I guess there's a couple of y'all, but one of the oldest in there as well. What does that feel like? Is that any added pressure, or does it feel like just another off season for you, or where's your mind at headed into fall camp in a couple weeks?
My mind towards it, it's like we got the young guys, so we got another role that we got to take up on, and always know that somebody's watching us, which is going to be the younger people and the new transfers that came inside the group. So we always trying to set an example for them, showing how stuff is going on around the program. Because after this year, is like who will go be stepping up in the room after we gone.
Now, y'all have gotten a lot of really talented young guys, but you know, I think there's always this kind of question of, you know, how well are guys who come out of high school with a lot of hype around them or a lot of praise, you know, how are they going to adjust to the culture, right? And I think a lot of the young guys we've talked to, you know, people who watch the show are always impressed by how quickly they have adjusted to the culture. So, you know, as an older guy, like how do you instill that work ethic and that culture of just embracing the grind and not really focusing on just the results? How have y'all worked to instill that in these young guys like Wayne McCoy, right? Or someone like that who just got on campus and has already taken to it so well?
Just tell them that it's a daily grind. Like everything not gonna just happen overnight. You just got to work at it day by day and come out there and get 1% better. Because I know that Novell would want us to do. So as you take that one step, eventually you go get what you want, and you just got to keep working towards that.
Absolutely, man. Now we're gonna take a couple questions from the chat. This is kind of in third person, but our tall Jedi guy wants to know, what are you looking to accomplish this season? I mean, what's on your goal board for Kentron Poitier this season?
Staying consistently and staying healthy. I feel like if I could do that, staying consistent, it helped me in a long way. That's something I've been working on since I've been at Florida State, being consistently.
Yeah, and Briley literally asked my follow-up for me. Thanks, Briley. I don't know if he's reading my mind, but she says, Tron, big fan. What specific things do you do to maximize that consistency, and how do players at your level get to a point where day in and day out performance hits that level every time?
I say, like they say, practice how you play. So you go to practice, practicing hard, because this is what you want to give out on Saturdays. But it starts on Tuesday on that early practice. So you just keep on embracing the grind, and it'll come.
Yeah. So basically, you know, just work consistently and you'll perform consistently.
Yeah.
Dude, I will say, man, that's what just every time I've gotten the chance to talk to you since last summer, everyone I've talked to on this team, I love how even when questions are about the outcomes, y'all always take it back to the work. You know, it's just, again, so cool how that culture has been developed where it's not, oh yeah, this is how, you know, we're going to look on the field. It's, hey, this is how we're working day in and day out. And you just know that that's going to produce on the field. Michael asks, how's the wide receiver core been meshing with DJ, and what do you like best about him as our new QB?
I feel like we getting along with each other, getting the timing down, new quarterback, and we just got to trying to fill him out before the season get rocking and rolling. So we're doing a little extra work, trying to get that timing down. And what I like about him, how he throw, he can make a pass from whichever spot off his back foot to the other side of the field. So he go get the ball there.
Yeah, he had that one. He had one in practice. I got to see. I think it was. I'll say it wrong. I don't remember if it was to Jakai or Malik, where he was like over on, I guess, the right side,
On the defensive side, and threw it to the.
Yep, and just flicked it, what? 50
Yeah.
miles in the air. Yeah. Hey, how nice is it having, when you get into scramble drills, knowing you've got a guy who can just drop a ball anywhere on the field? And does that like, I don't want to say put less pressure on you as a wide receiver, but does that give you just more options to get open in those kind of?
Yeah, it give you extra time to extend the play. So I feel like we got a great chance with that.
Awesome, man. All right, so we're gonna put you. Well, actually, let me get this one. I've got a funny question to end it on. Grillmaster asks, Kentron, how different are GJ's passes compared to other quarterbacks that have thrown to you?
I say it got a little bit more power coming towards you, so you gotta, you feel me, get ready. But DJ is a great quarterback. I like him. So yeah, I like.
And then Mark Perez asks, not to look back too much at that game, but how big do you think it was to have that game individually against Georgia last year and finishing the way you did in that game?
I feel like I left a lot of plays out, with what I was going through on the field, but I feel like that Georgia game was something just to open people's eyes for this upcoming season, what I can bring towards the table.
Absolutely, man. And then, how's it feel wearing that number 1?
It feel different because we come from 88. So when you get here to 1, it feel good.
Yeah,
big target on your back.
Yeah, and hey, 88's a good number. It fits.
Mm-hmm. No, I love 88.
But that number 1 is different, man. You got that number 1 on. It's like time to be the dude. And, man. Last question, and then we'll let you get out of here. Anthony asks, who is the best wide receiver in FSU history? You don't have to say Ron Dugans, but maybe we say Ron Dugans is like number 1, and who's number 2?
Yeah. I'd say Peter Ward.
Okay. Have you gotten a chance to chop it up with him at all? I know he's on the sidelines quite a bit.
Not too much. Yeah, not too much, but the time I did.
He was a special dude.
Yeah.
Not too many like him. Well, Tron, we were really fired up to see what you do on the field this year, you and the entire team. I mean, again, we are 2 days less than 2 months from Ireland. I can't believe it's almost here. I know there's a lot of work between now and then, but thank you for coming by tonight to talk to us, and we look forward to talking to you again. Folks, I'm Max Moody, and this has been the Battles In live show. Again, we have these every single week, typically on Mondays. We're going to take next week off, but we will be back after 4th of July, and we will see y'all then.